everyone, it's Leslie from Just Less Creations. We're back with our winter collection, and today we're going to do a cake pop with some sprinkles and a modeling chocolate snowflake. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is grab our cake pop dough. I've got this beautiful fudge chocolate cake pop dough that is just beautiful for this kind of cake pop. I'm going to use a Wilton's cookie scoop to get our cake pop dough. This will give us some nice uniform cake balls. Rule in my house is 2 is 1, 1 is none, so I will be making 2 in case something happens to the first one. Now once I get those 2 made, then I'm going to go ahead and put everything aside. I'm going to grab my cake dough and I'm going to squeeze it and roll it at the same time. I'm going to put a lot of pressure. I want to get all of the air bubbles out of the inside. Once you feel it coming together, go the opposite direction, really light in the touch. It should make a nice round ball. Now I want a flat cake ball. I don't want a nice circle. I want a flat one so that I can put my snowflake on. Just going to squeeze in until it makes what looks like a wheel or a tire. I just want to flatten it out and keep it round, making sure that there's no cracks. Once I'm satisfied with that, I'm going to grab my lollipop stick that's already been dipped in white chocolate and dried. I'm going to dip just the tip in my melted chocolate. I'm going to push it inside my cake pop, turning it clockwise until I feel the friction catch, and then I'm going to turn it a quarter of a turn backwards. And I'll wipe that excess chocolate off of the bottom. Then we'll sit it aside on the tray to let that chocolate firm up on the inside. I want to stop the video here just for a moment and bring up the picture of the end result that I'm looking to make. On this cake pop, we're going to use some blue sprinkles with the white snowflake in the mix. We're also going to cut out a snowflake using modeling chocolate. Now I'm going to take my white chocolate and flatten it out. Remember, always use cornstarch if your chocolate is feeling a little sticky or tacky. I always have some on hand because my hands are usually hot. I'm going to put it through my KitchenAid pasta maker to make it nice and even and all the same thickness. I'll be using a cutter today. This is a 6-piece fondant embossing tool snowflake plunger. I bought it off of Amazon for $10. I decided to use the middle cutter out of the 3 that came for this particular design because it just fits perfectly on the front of my cake pop. Now, as you can see, even though I used cornstarch because it's an intricate design, I had to grab my palette knife to pull out some of those little pieces. I have 2 cake pops that I'm preparing these snowflakes for. Always cut out that extra one just in case. Clear your spot and let's get prepped to dip our cake pops. Let's give our chocolate a good stir to make sure the temperature is even in our chocolate. We're going to dip our cake pop by dropping it into the melted chocolate, spin it just until the chocolate touches itself, and then we're going to gently shake off the excess. We want gravity to do its work, so we're just going to shake it gently until it's done dripping. All the while, as I am spinning it in my hands, I'm looking for those air bubbles. We do not want air bubbles, so grab a palette knife or a toothpick or something and make sure you're popping all of those air bubbles in your chocolate. You don't want them to pop as the chocolate is drying, leaving an avenue for oxygen to get to your cake pop dough. This has the potential for bacteria or mold to begin growing on your cake pop dough, and that is not cool for you or your customer. So make sure that you're doing due diligence with getting those air bubbles out of that chocolate. Now when that's all done, we'll go ahead and grab our snowflake and we're just going to lay it right on top of that wet chocolate. We're going to let that wet chocolate be the glue. And we're just going to tap down the snowflake and secure it in place where we want it. And then we're just going to take our sprinkles and roll it around the outside edge. I'm just tapping it in the wet chocolate. And then for the underside where I can't roll it in the sprinkles themselves, I'm just going to use my hands and just drop them on the wet chocolate, letting them fall where they fall. This is such a simple but versatile design to create a snowflake cake pop that would go with any winter collection. It is so darn cute. I know you guys can do this. I encourage you to try it. Step outside of your box. You were born to be a creator, so try it. And if you do, drop pictures in the group so we can celebrate your win with you. Until later, be creative.